See?
Yes, I see. Games, 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 it's what we're going to play. Games, 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 because it is Tuesday. Games, 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 it is was what we're made to play. Games, 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 because it is Tuesday. And we've got four wonderful folk to have a bit of a play and joke. And we will maybe talk truth or we will lie. And then we will then have a try to decide which is it. Is it true or is it not? Games, 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 it's what we're going to play. Games, 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 because it is Tuesday. And hello and thank you, Joe and McCall and sorry, Joanne and McCall and Scott for joining me. It is 8 p.m. UK time, and that means Tip Top Tabletop Tuesdays. And today we are playing a fact and a half. So yes, shall we go around and maybe talk about something that we are happy about, or that some maybe a game we played, or something pretty that we saw in the past recently? If you are happy to go, Joanne, and then we can go clockwise.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm supposed to pick something?
Yes, and introduce yourself if you want, and say
Oh,
something about something that you recently thought, oh, that was enjoyable, or that was pretty.
oh, okay. So, well, my name is Joanne. I'm a streamer here on Twitch. I stream music 3 days a week, art 1 day, and sometimes take people out into my garden. I live in the Philadelphia area, USA, and I have a cat named Emerald. Something pretty I saw today. Out in my garden, hi, out in the garden, the roses are amazing. So definitely that was something pretty I saw today.
Nice.
What about you, McCall?
So I'm Miko, and I used to know Baz and I still know Baz because we used to live together, and now we're basically neighbors in London scale.
Like war 10, 15, 20 minute cycle, to be fair.
Yeah, from London is pretty much.
It's true. For London, we're neighbours.
Yeah. I can't think of something pretty I saw, but I did a workshop at work with, Chess, my friend, their
Oh,
sister.
yeah.
They're a life coach, and they work in HR and like human development, learning and development. And we did a workshop that was run by them. It was pretty interesting.
Hmm. And Alex says it depends how far you can throw a stone, I guess. We are maybe a stone's throw away from each other.
What you and Alex are?
No, me and McCall.
Oh, okay.
And hello, Alex. It's lovely to have you in the chat. And Scott, you are a teacher from the northern lands of Canada.
I'm in southern Canada. Latitudinally speaking, I think I'm actually further south than you are, being in Ontario. But yes, I am
think you
teacher.
might have mentioned this. Yes,
Yeah.
I do apologize.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Teacher, game designer, both those things. And this weekend just passed was a long weekend. It's a holiday weekend here in Canada for Victoria Day. So it was a very nice weekend. In fact, the weather was good, and had a friend over and we played some games. We had a gaming weekend. It was a good fun time. First time outside, over to the field there to play a bit of baseball with my daughter, and then a friend over for us to play board games for most of the weekend. And then this afternoon, when we're done here, I'm out with my daughter to get her vaccinated. So these 3 days have been 4 days, the weekend and today, have been a big ball of awesome.
That sounds fantastic. And for the record, Alex says that Alex is about 50 miles away from Michael and myself, and that would be an incredibly strong arm. And yes, yeah, we may be more north, but yeah, it's the Gulf Stream. And to be fair, I forget that UK is actually quite a bit warmer than Berlin, for example. Because, you know, in Germany, it's just weird how you'd think, okay, you go a bit south, but it's not true. It doesn't mean that just because you're going a wee bit more south that true story. I'm planning now to go to Thailand, but I was originally planning to go to Korea until I realized that it's actually a bit chilly. True story. Anyway, I am Bez. I make games. I sort of invented the one we're going to play. I keep forget. I don't know what language this is. I should probably take this home because. But yeah, I'm best known for Yogi, which is a game of physical constraints, and I'm proudest of my L deck, which is all sorts of games in one box. And yeah, what was the last? I'm going to say that's a pretty thing because, yeah, unfortunately, I had to visit someone in a hospital today. But while I was there were lots of plants, and they had a lovely little garden, and they had birds singing. So that was lovely. And oh my gosh, hello, Runa. It is lovely to have you join us. And so for those who don't know, Runa, I think I just saw you kind of doing the pokey thing. That's not, I can't remember what that's called. That sort of crafting where, do you know this, Joanne, where you poke things and then you were doing these sorts of pokey. I only saw it very, very briefly. You were painting. Okay. I just kind of glanced when I got back. I wonder what Runa's up to. And yeah. So completely
What were you asking me, Bez? You were asking a question to me?
If you knew what the pokey thing was, like when you poke like a little thing with wool and then you pull little bits out and then you kind of make little patterns.
I'm not sure I know what that is.
Ignore me for a minute. I do apologize. Just assume that I am very, very tired and maybe my mind's a wee bit all over the place today. But hello, Henchman Hank. Thank you for joining us. And I hope that you all enjoy a fact and a half. Now, we have had our introductions. If you peeps want to share something that was a recent highlight for you, then please share. Otherwise, yeah, shall we get on with the game?
Sure.
Okay, so a fact and a half. The way this works is you say a fact about yourself, and then other people ask questions. So the facts, if you are not sure what kind of facts you want, then I can give you a prompt. It's easiest if you have a lie and a real thing already in your head. So today, I'm going to say that I have had a takeaway. Okay, my fact is going to be that I have had takeaway food at least 6 times in the past week. Is that, now you get to ask me a question each. Everyone gets to ask me a question. I have to answer at least one question from each person. At the end of that, everyone decides, is it true or is it false?
Is it all of us or even chat too?
Oh, chat can also ask questions. So, do you have any questions about my supposed 6 takeaways in the past week?
I do. What
yes.
Was it?
Which takeaway? Oh, it was different ones.
What are the best ones that you enjoyed?
It was primarily from the chicken shop, where you can get things for the low price of 90 pence.
That's impressive.
Which was my least favourite one? It was let's see. It was one of the times from the chicken shop. What did I do with the leftovers? Oh, there were no leftovers. There were no leftovers. Like if I get a takeaway, I would eat it all. I would, bite into the bones. I would separate the bones. I would suck out the marrow. And I do apologize for anyone who's. Was it 90 pence chicken? There was at least one of them was 90 pence chicken. At least one of them was the £2.50 special meal, where you get it's incredible how much you can get for £2.50.
So if we want to ask a question, do we raise our hand or how do we do it?
Yeah, just go for it and ask it.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know that I'm actually kind of a socially awkward person, and
if you want to raise your hand, if that makes
and
sense.
I have a tough time interrupting people. So
Okay.
when I usually like to know when it's okay to talk and when it isn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it does make sense.
It makes it easier. It's fine.
Yeah. So I will raise my hand if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Joanne, what's your question?
So my question is this something unusual for you to have that many takeaways in a week?
Yes, it is. It is unusual. Normally, I would. I'm not a particularly healthy eater, but normally my diets might be, I don't know, sometimes salads, sometimes instant noodles. There's a lot of instant noodles. And when people come over, I make a stew, but I've not had people over for a long time for obvious reasons. So, yeah. Honestly, I've not cooked. Like, the most cooking I've done so true story, I did get a piece of reduced salmon and fried it, but yes, it is unusual. Did you have a follow-up question, Joanne, to that?
No, not really. I was just thinking about how you mentioned that it was 6 times in a week, and it seemed like it was some sort of thing that was different for you, and I wondered whether it was or if you just go ahead and decide this is something that you do all the time.
So, Scott,
were any of the meals you had this week, any of those 6, new to you, like something you've never had before?
That's a good question.
Well, yes, at least 2 of them. I had a chicken strip burger. Honestly, I'd only had the chicken wings and chicken pieces. Before this, I'd never explored the menu where you kind of get the special deals for £2.50. You can get a chicken strip burger and chips and chicken wings for £2.50. Or you can get a chicken fillet burger and chips and a drink for £2.50.
Nice.
Or you can get a cheeseburger and chips for £2.50 and a drink. But if you ask very nicely, they do sometimes swap the drink for a wing or 2. And Alex says, "Why would you do this?"
Well, have 6 takeaways a week. I think it's a good idea.
Mainly convenience and lack of imagination and cheapness. Let's go with that. And so, if anyone else...
Are you sure you're not depressed or some reason that you're doing a food comfort thing or what?
Honestly, that's entirely possible.
It's a legit question. That's something I do when I'm depressed. So, yeah.
But is there any other questions? And I will get a wee bits of paper to record everybody's score.
Oh, I have one more question.
Okay.
Have you felt any ill effects from this food, like any indigestion, any other things like that?
No, I have not.
Oh, if it were me,
And-
I would. I would be sick as a dog right now if I did that.
Alex says maybe the 90 pence chicken is making you depressed. I am actually going to open up a little new thing in my text editing software. So, if no one else has any questions, I'm going to let people in chat write, do you think that what I was saying was true or a lie? In chat, kind of write true or lie, but don't press enter just yet. And if you're here, then do this for true or this for lie. Pardon me, but don't do it just yet. So 3, 2, 1, everyone in chat. Everyone in chat, and now 3, 2, 1, everyone here.
I'm going to have to
Fran.
put it in the StreamYard chat.
You just put your thumb up or thumb down, Joanne.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Okay. So, Leafta thinks it's a lie. Hello, Keymaker, who thinks that it's true, and live on a music. Live, I'm so sorry. Live on a mountain. I'm so sorry that my mind isn't working very well.
He'll tell you what he wants to be called.
Aquasulus thinks it's true, and Scott and McCall thought it was true, and Joanne thought it was false. Well, I am sad to say that it was indeed true. So that wasn't a very good truth, because it was too believable. What you want to do is...
It is unusual for you to have that many takeaways in a week, so like I was on the fence, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad that I at least got you to be on the fence. I'm just adding the numbers, and so McCall, can you take it away with the next one, please?
Yeah.
And we'll just go round clockwise.
Can I ask a preliminary question?
Sure.
Just for you, Bess. Have you seen any pictures of me as a kid or as a baby ever?
I could check my Google skills right now. Hang on.
I can't remember that. I can't remember them.
Okay, it's good if you don't remember. All right. So, when I was born, I was pretty much like light blonde or like very light ashy blonde for a very long time, and this is now my natural color, pretty much.
I do want to, by the way, just reply to this very, very quickly, just to say that just because I get to takeaway doesn't mean that it's, yeah, as Joanne said, it was a not regular thing. But so, sorry, McCall, to interrupt. So you're saying that you used to be blonde, and now you're dark colored?
I was blonde, and I was blonde for a few years, yes. And then I kind of like changed color.
Okay, my question is, at what point, roughly, did you change color?
10, 11-ish.
Anyone else got any questions?
I don't know your family background, because the first time we ever met was last Tuesday through this exact format. So I'm going to ask about your personal family history, if that's okay, because that might shed some light on this.
Geographically and stuff.
Sorry?
Geographically, you mean?
Yes, like both of your parents, where are they from?
They're both from northern Italy. All of my family is from northern Italy, actually. So.
Okay.
It does. Here, Leafta has a question. What eye color do you and your parents have?
It's kind of like a brown-green sort of color.
Do you want to get close to the camera and show people your eyes?
It was a weird thing to do.
This is the content that the people want. Big eyes close-ups.
Well, remember not to try to tell you a fact about my teeth or anything, because they're really unpleasant.
Oh, so I haven't known my grandparents for very long. So they all died like pretty soon into my life. So like I'm not too sure. I think at best they were like dark blonde or like light brown kind of color. I don't think that there was anybody with like black hair.
Okay, it seems like people don't really have any more questions about this, unless anybody else does have any questions. Okay, Keymaker. So, McCall, can you confirm where you're from?
I'm from northern Italy, Parma.
Most famous for the ham.
Yes, and for opera, and for the cheese.
Have you ever changed your hair color with dye?
Yeah, loads of times. I was pink for a long time, and then I went blue and pink, and then in my teenage years I went like black and blue. Yeah, I changed colors a lot of times.
And yeah, the parents are Italian. And Alex makes the joke of Parma violets, which are...
I think that's where it's from, actually. No,
Really?
Yeah,
I thought Parma violets were an English thing.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like
are you familiar with Parma violets, Joanne and Scott?
No.
No.
Can you explain Parma violets, McCall? It's a little sweet.
Yeah, it's a little sweet that tastes like violet. No, it tastes like it tastes like a flower pretty much.
Oh, okay.
We'll send a link to it.
Oh, I could.
Are these popular?
I'm not sure.
Apparently, it's named after a flower, Parma violets. Apparently, that's the name of the flower.
Violet flavored.
Yeah, it's after a flower for sure.
Okay. Oh, and they're right. The little
They look like Mentos, pretty much.
Right.
But like pink, purple.
An image search.
And if...
Interesting. I've not had those. I don't think I've seen them either. I do visit the. We do have couple of different shops local to here. One's called A Little Bit of Britain, and they import things from Britain. That's where we get our iron brew and our tablet when there isn't a shortage of them, and our English chocolate, because it tastes better when it's from England than when it's from North America. So we do that on occasion, but I've not seen those there. But I've not been looking for them. Maybe next time I'm in, I'll give it a try and I'll report back to you.
I don't think they're all that popular, to be honest.
Oh, they're not popular enough that they would bring them in?
No, I don't think so.
I can check, but if they are, I'll get some and I'll report back.
Well, there you go. According to Wikipedia, a British violet flavour tablets confectionery manufactured by the Derbyshire company Swizzles Mallow. There you go. And so if anyone's curious, I will paste that directly into the comments. There you go. So this is the content you've come for, learning about sweets. But in all seriousness, do you think that McCall used to have blonde hair? That is the question. And if no one else has any questions, is everyone ready to vote?
Mm-hmm.
Joanne?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I am ready to vote. Okay, in the chat, I am going to say 3, 2, 1, and then press enter. So type in lie or truth. 3, 2, 1, press enter. And us, 3, 2, 1, and vote.
I have no faith, do I? No trust in the world.
Keys has said, judging by the fact that I also was blonde from birth until I was 7 to 8 years old, and I also have Latin ancestors, I would say it's possible for you to have been blonde. So I say true. And everyone else is saying true, and Live on a Mountain says true. I was white-haired until the same age. Nicole.
So yeah, it's true. I
Yeah.
haven't found anybody apart from John.
It was the same with my daughter. Very fair, very light blonde hair until around the age 7, 8, 9, started to darken, and now she does have a fairly medium to dark brown hair.
Yeah, it's a common
which is
thing.
very blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some other people go the other way around, though. They are
Mhm.
born quite dark and then they quite light.
That's the way I'm going.
Yeah.
I kind of brown hair, but it's really lightened up quite a bit.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'll say blonde. Others might say gray.
So,
Mostly gray.
the next person to give a fact
Mhm.
or not
Mhm.
is Scott.
Oh man, okay. I'm trying to think of something that's going to be interesting enough that it might be believable or not. Let me see. Do I pick something that is true, that is unlikely and unusual? Or do I pick something that is not true but is fairly mundane?
I feel like there are some Jedi mind tricks. Now you're
I
going to
know.
pick a mundane thing that is true.
Actually, okay, I'll tell you what. Now that I'm looking at it again, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but you see the end knuckle of my middle finger there?
Mm-hmm.
Let me make you big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that? Just a little bit. Compare it to the one on the opposite side there. Okay. I damaged that when I was 8 years old, 8 or 9, to be honest. I don't remember exactly when because I was young. While riding a bicycle, I used to live in a slightly more rural area before it built up around here. I was riding my bicycle down a hill and kind of lost control. Went off the side of the road a little bit because probably wasn't as steep as I remember it. Being younger, you kind of play things up a little bit. Off the side of the hill, but because where you live, there's a bit of farmland, not as much as there used to be, because it's been built up over years. I lived in the same area for a really long time. But as I went off the side, I got really close to a fence, which had a bit of a break in it, and there was a cow coming out of it, and I crashed into the side of the cow. And when I put my hand out, I managed to something about the angle of the handle on the handlebars. I managed to get my finger caught against the side of the cow as I fell off, which at the time wasn't funny because I'm a child and I'm in pain. But afterwards, I thought about it and thought, I have a permanent injury because I hit a cow on a bike, which now that the area I live in is more built up, doesn't seem right. You tell that to like city people. I'm like not right downtown, big city Toronto. I'm kind of suburb area. I'm a stone's throw, if we're gonna make that a running thing, from a less built up area, but it's still fairly city like where I am at now. So to say that, to tell people that it was a cow, yeah.
Yep. That is the story, Alex. That Scott broke their finger on a cow.
Well, let me specify, since you asked, it didn't actually break. It's not a break. I didn't actually break a bone. I think what happened was there's like some ligament damage in there, so that it's separated a little bit, and then it swelled up. And I thought, okay, well, naturally it's going to swell because it's injured, right? And things swell, and then it just never went back down again. And later on, I looked it up, and I don't remember all the details, but it has something to do with a little bit of ligament or tendon separation that caused that. So it caused no pain now. There's no loss of anything. It just looks weird.
Huh.
And it's got looks like a lump in there, almost like the bone's in the wrong spot. But it was never actually a fracture in the bone itself.
And a quick hello to Timmy, who's just popped in. Basically, Scott's just told us about how the finger was permanently made weird, I guess you could say,
Yeah, and
from hitting a cow. And we have to decide whether this is true or not. But before we do that, we get to ask at least one question each, if we would like. So, my question is, can you remember what the cow looks like? Like pattern, size? Can you describe this cow?
It was white and black. and there were spots. It's a very stereotypical white cow with black spots. I don't actually have a vivid image. Other than that, like I couldn't tell you was the like a bigger spot in the middle, close to the front where the spots were. No. I can call up an image, but I don't trust my memory at this point to know that's exactly what it was, right? Because as we age, other images kind of invade and infiltrate the actual memories. So other than it being one of the typical black and white cow, I don't have any extra detail. So questions here. I'm seeing some questions here.
So
was the cow hurt? I didn't stop to ask. I was 8 or 9. I was more concerned about myself at that point. I don't think so. I did manage to sort of get up and go home, kind of walking my bike and cradling my hand. I didn't actually inquire after the cow afterwards. It did not seem too upset at the time, other than it wandered back into the pasture that it was from.
And I'm going to put this up like I do like this. It thought I've had enough of this bull.
Nice. Yo.
And Live's got two bits of a question.
Do you have any
sorry, a
arthritis?
joke. It went black and white, not black and blue.
Yeah.
Joanne, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, so I want to know who was with you, if anyone, when this happened.
I was by myself at that point. I wasn't too far from my house. At that stage, we were had enough freedom to roam within an area, and I was within the area that my parents were comfortable letting me just going out for a bike ride. So I was on my own at that point, and then I fell and hit the cow, and then I walked myself back home all upset. I was actually more upset when I got home. I was like, oh, it hurts, but then trying to explain what happened, that happens where you're like, oh, this is bad. Then as soon as there's someone there who can do something about it, then it seems more worse. I was like, oh, I'm hurt. But, it all comes back out when there's someone there to actually tell the story to. And then to try to explain it, right, exactly what happened. I wasn't sure if I should tell that part just in case I hurt the cow. Am I going to get in trouble for hitting a cow? Right? So
maybe not at this point.
Yeah. I do see a couple more in the chat. I can address
asks,
it.
Were you cuts in any way?
I'm going to go. Oh, even before that, I don't want to miss Aquasulis. Do you have any arthritis? Because
you already answered that.
I do not. I have no arthritis. We're out for a rip. I'm not sure what that means.
Were you cuts in any way?
No. Okay, well, actually, you know what? Cut as in lacerations, no. Contusions and some abrasions. So there's a bit of scrapage on my knees because the road wasn't paved, right? It's kind of a dirt road, a wide dirt road, so where it rocks and stuff. So I did have a couple of scrapes, but there weren't any cuts, like lacerations with like blood spraying out or anything like that. It was more just a couple of layers of skin here and there came off. Those little pebbles and bits that get stuck in there. You got to wash out when you get home.
Nicole, you had a question.
No, I wanted to ask the same question someone else asked before. So.
Okay.
Oh, and Live on a Mountain made a joke that maybe the cow was with his mother.
Yeah.
He asks, did you go to the hospital in the end?
No, I didn't. No. It didn't seem like it was between the scrapes and stuff and my finger being hurt. Because I still had a bit of mobility at the time. It didn't feel like it was broken. It just hurt. And I figured the swelling would go down. So I never ended up having to go to the hospital.
And to me, I guess it's isn't an Ontario expression.
Maybe in the northerner parts of Ontario, even further away.
Would it be like going out for a rip? Does that mean like going out for maybe a bit of a fast ride, like letting your wheels? Maybe that's what that means. I don't know. Alex says the story was just so moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just patted yourself down and then you were okay. That's actually quite disgusting if you think of cow pats.
Oh, cow pats, I get it. That's a good one. Yeah.
Anyway, are there any more questions that anyone's got? I think it's time to vote as well, Keys. So let's get ready.
Fine with the quad goon for
yeah, let's not milk it.
Not milk it any further. Yeah.
3, 2, 1 in chat. Type up truth or lie. 3, 2, 1. We will vote now.
I don't believe anyone. This is the way I am.
He's not gonna believe anything anyone tells.
Okay, so Alex also thinks it's a lie, as does Live on a Mountain, as does Leifta. Oh, Runa thinks it's a truth, as does McCall. And is that everyone? Okay. Scott. Let's us. Oh, and Timmy says true, and Keith is true. There we go. So Scott, break our hearts.
No, it's not true. I made that all up.
I get a point. Yay!
It was very credible, though. Well done.
Thank you. I actually injured this playing Australian rules football.
Playing what?
Australian rules football.
Oh,
We had
okay.
it was an Australian football league started up in Ontario. And when I was 15, 16, it was just, that's my Australian friends were kicking the ball around. I went up to catch the ball, and it came down on the end of my finger and gave it whatever bend it did. That part was true, but it wasn't broken, but it was just that ligament damage that caused it to swell and not unswell. That part, the description of the damage was true. It's just how I did it was not true. Oh, however, the ball was made of leather.
So cow related still.
Yeah. So it's still cow.
Yeah, but
It technically hit my finger on a cow. I just not fall off a bike to do it.
and I think that currently, because I think you did manage to fool half the people, Scott, so you get a point. So currently, Runa, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you've managed to score just yet, but Alex and Live on a Mountain and Scott are in the lead with a perfect score of 3 points, and everyone else has 2 or 1 or 0. And Joanne.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
What is your statement?
I have to put a gag order on 2 people in the chat who are not allowed to say anything at this point.
Well, that means that they can't guess.
That's because they know something about this. Oh, okay. All right. I won't say anything. No, I won't put any gags on people. So, okay. Here's what it is. This is actually kind of embarrassing for me, but I'm going to share it anyway because it's actually really cool. You know that I'm really good friends with Keys. We've known each other for probably about a year. And he and I like talking a lot. He comes on my show sometimes when I do art just to talk to me. And it's really neat. And he and I actually found out that we have similar heritage. He's from Romania, and I'm from, my relatives are from Hungary. And one day we were just chatting in an art stream, and we found out that we actually are related. So that's what you have to figure out, if that's true or not.
So you're saying, okay, so my question is, how related are you saying that you are? I want clarification on your claim. Okay,
well, this is the part that's super embarrassing, but I'm going to tell it anyway because this is. So I found out maybe about a year ago that my dad had an affair. And he was in Romania at one point. This I didn't know. And he had a son, and that was Keys. So he's actually not my full brother, but he's my half brother. We share
Wow.
a father, but not a mother.
So I have a question.
Yes.
How did it come up that you were related?
Well, because we were talking, and I was saying to him, "Oh yeah, I have some relatives in Hungary. I've never been there, but I do have relatives there that my father has told me about. One of them is my Aunt Lily." And then Keys happened to say that he had an Aunt Lily, and that's not a very common name. And then we researched it, and we went and we contacted her, and we found out that this was in fact the same, one and the same.
Hmm.
Wait,
Wow.
you have an Aunt Lily in Hungary too? Never mind. I just let that one go.
I see what you did.
Turns out we're all related. All right.
Alex appreciated your joke, Scott.
Thank you, Alex. You're my new favorite.
Alex is your new favorite. That's good.
I don't know if I know anybody else well enough to play or have a favorite at this point.
Okay,
think we're
Nicole, do you
Russian
have
now,
any
though.
questions? Or Scott, do you
I
have...
was thinking.
Okay.
Yes, I have a question. Sorry. Did you find out about your dad's affair after this whole thing came up, or you knew it from before and then like you kind of put the pieces together through that too?
Oh, I knew it before. Like I said, I knew it about a year before, so I think it probably was like just before I knew Keys.
Yeah.
It was pretty shocking.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, I thought my dad was a pretty upstanding person, but you never know sometimes what people are up to.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. I honestly have no idea. Okay. Joanne, I know it's my second question, but can you tell us about where your father and mother's parents are from?
Well, my father, now we're talking about my father and mother. You have to understand that Keys and I only share a father. We don't share a mother, right? So my father is from Budapest, and my mother is from the San Francisco area.
I mean, I was somewhat curious about how your father met your mother, though.
My mother?
Yes.
Oh, well, he met my mother in college. They both went to the same college. And when they were in college, they belonged to what they call a Newman Club, and they went out together on a beach trip. And the story goes that my mother fell asleep on my father's shoulder in the bus on the way home. And that's how they eventually got together. And then when they started going out.
Okay, so for this question, obviously Keys can't participate, but can Live on a Mountain participate? So Alex has a question. No. Do you and Keys have things oddly in common?
Well, I don't think so, but if you look at us, you can see that we look pretty much alike. Just our face, our skin tone, and I have the same eyebrows as him and the same nose as him, for example.
And this is something that Keys said a while back, just so we can see Keys' little picture there.
Does Keys have any other siblings that you're not related to?
Yes.
Okay. I do think it is probably time to vote. And so, yeah, I think that everyone in chat, if you're ready, type true or lie or truth or false, you know, one of those things, and get ready to press enter 3, 2, 1, vote. And now people on the screen. 3, 2, 1, vote. And we've had 2 people voting for a lie. Alex says lie, but I want it to be true. A bunch of people saying it's a lie. Bruno says it's true. Which is it? And is there anyone else who we're waiting for? And of course, Keys cannot vote. So, Joanne.
Yes, what's the answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. It's a total lie.
Seemed pretty
Oh
unlikely.
my God, like, some of you are really good at that.
Although he always calls me sis. I always call him my brother. From very early on, he would always say love sis or my pleasure sis every time he helped me. So
I'm giving Keys an automatic
but I
point
want it
of-
to be true.
You work so well with like I'm embarrassed about this and stuff. Okay.
I can imagine finding out being cousins or something like that, and I totally would have been much more likely to go, yeah, I think that's possible.
I thought about saying that we
such
were
a-
cousins instead of brother and sister, but
Yeah. It seemed,
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
yeah.
this morning when I thought about this, I could not stop laughing. I'm so surprised that I was able to keep a straight face.
Lifta says, I watch a lot of TV in which people search for lost relatives. I didn't believe it for a second.
I think I'm a bit naive.
Oh,
I had to have one of them be like so outlandish that I wanted to see what would happen.
okay. And Runa is making apple strudel.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the question is, shall we have a quick speed round and go for like shall we do a speed round? Are people up for that? Joanne, would you be up for a quick speed round?
Sure.
Scott?
Sure. How would that
Nicole?
work? Just
Exactly the same, but
just
just
do it
we need
faster.
to be faster.
Okay.
Okay.
Less elaborate stories.
My story is that My story is that I got Reiner Knizia's email. That's it.
I believe it.
Okay, that's your question. Reiner Knizia is a game designer who's very prolific. They made literally like 40 published games in 1 year. Last time I checked, they are very, very well known. Scott, any questions?
I'd be surprised. I just follow up to that as I've been getting more into the board game community and industry, that I keep hearing his name and go, oh, it's really interesting. And then I'll look on my shelf and go, I've got another one that's it, without realizing it, because just getting into it is all about games that are interesting. I'll play the games. It never occurred to me to check, specifically who they're by. I do not actually. I don't.
Okay.
No question.
Alex has a question. Have you sent him an email? No, I have not. Not yet. I was going to do it tonight. Joanne, do you have a question?
So I'm not sure if I understand what this statement is again. So say it.
I have the email of probably the most prolific board game designer in the world, basically.
Oh, okay. You have their email, or you got an email from them?
I have their email.
Oh, okay. Where did you get it from again? Or did somebody already ask them?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
I got it from Uli, who is a board game publisher for Spielworks, who is also based in Germany. And this is not. I would never do that. Yep, most of Knizia's games are good, and Alex says some are great. Okay, if everyone is ready to vote, then everyone in chat, get ready to vote. 3, 2, 1. Vote. People on screen. 3, 2, 1. Vote. True, true, true. Keys says it's a lie. I thought that was more unbelievable. I'm disappointed. I didn't get a point. Oh,
I believe it. You're fairly well known.
congratulations, Runa. Yes, congratulations, Runa. And I think Live on the Mountain already said true. Wow, Live on the Mountain is doing amazingly well. Okay, so I will tally up the points whilst you talk about your thing, McCall.
I used to have a pair of vintage jeans when I was 14, 15 that I got everybody in my class to sign as a thing. Like, yeah, everybody like wrote a quote on the jeans, and I wore them for a while as well.
So wait a minute. I don't think that we ever found out if Bez's thing was true, or is that at the end?
Oh yes, it was true.
Oh, it was true. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry, that was why I was disappointed and saying, I thought it was more unbelievable. And so, talking about McCall's vintage jeans, the question is, how many names were on there?
So like around the amount of people that were in my class, so like 18 to 20 or so.
How did the jeans look on you?
That's immaterial, but that was funny.
Like the style of things that we wear, because they were like not the trend at the time. They were vintage like mom jeans, which are trendy now, but not back then.
What kind of cuts were they at the bottom is my own question. Like, were they flares or, boot cuts or?
Boot cut, I guess. Like, I'm not very knowledgeable on like jeans.
Okay. Any questions, Scott?
80s
Yeah.
style jeans, like.
Do you still have them?
I do,
And-
yes.
Do you still wear them?
No, they probably don't fit me anymore, and they're in Italy now.
Yeah, because if you say, sure, I still wear them all the time, then it would definitely be maybe unbelievable that anyone can fit into the clothes that they wore when they were 14, 15.
Oh,
But
I do. I fit into
Joanne.
you do still?
clothes.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, was there a certain occasion that it was that you used this for, that you wanted all these signatures?
I don't know. I was trying to be alternative and weird.
Okay. And Keys asks, must the answer to the question be the truth? No, they absolutely don't need to be, because if you've lied at the start, then you have to keep building lie upon lie upon lie. So the answers to, if you lied, then you have to keep lying. If you tell the truth, then it has to be all the truth. And so, glad you So, now, is everyone ready to vote about McCall getting a pair of jeans signed by everyone in the class? Oh, wait a minute. One last minute question. Did you ask someone in particular to sign to get to know them better?
No, it was very random.
Here's a follow-up question. How many people were determined they're going to be the ones that signed on specific areas because they thought they were being edgy to write their name on your parts?
Don't remember that, to be honest. I remember people taking up a lot of space more than others, but
Everyone in chat, 3, 2, 1, and write truth or lie. And here, 3, 2, 1, and we will vote. So we think it's true. We all think it's true. Apparently, it sounds very Italian. Runa also thinks it's true. And so, was it a lie, McCall? Was it a lie?
it was true.
Yes. So you failed to fool people.
I feel true, which is not bad.
But you didn't fool half the people. You don't get your points.
I know. I'm
sorry. Still, congratulations, everyone who saw and believed in McCall. Now, Scott.
Yep. All right, here we go. I used to before, well, actually, and during. I've only been a teacher for a few years, midlife career change. But somewhere in the middle, I also got a job working at a camp, a local camp. It was run during the summer and during our spring break, our March break here. And it was a fencing and archery themed camp. So I teach fencing and archery to kids between the ages of 8 and 14. And while I was at the camp, I convinced the boss to give me $350 to buy board games for the camp, because at lunchtime and before and after we started, the kids would all pull out their device, or we'd have a TV set up and put on themed movies. And I thought, let's get them away from the screens. I brought in a couple board games from home. The kids really enjoyed them. So I said to the boss, look, let's get them away from the screens. Can I get some money to buy board games that are themed for fencing and archery? And he gave me a budget of $350. And I bought $350 worth of board games to play with the kids at camp.
So 2 copies of Gloomhaven.
That's right. No, it was not Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven was not out yet, and I don't think it would have fit. We needed stuff that we could fit within the lunch hour, so they had to be slightly shorter games.
For those who don't know, Gloomhaven is an incredibly expensive, very long game, and it would have been a terrible choice.
For this, it would not have fit well.
Okay, genuine question. What games did you get?
I got a Castle Panic, Medieval Academy, because that fit the night school theme. Night with a K. Night school, we called it, because it was fencing and archery camp. What else did I get? I got a couple of chess boards as well for more classic games for the kids who are interested in that sort of thing. I got, I think I got a copy of Timeline because it was historical with the events. I'm trying to remember now. It was like 6 or 7 years ago. So I'm trying to remember what else. So definitely themed. Catan, but it was a Catan Junior because that's pirate themed.
And just answering this very nicely, 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it, because time gets away from me. It was actually a bit longer ago than that, because I've been teaching for about 7 years now. So it would have been closer to 9 years ago.
I don't know what you mean live on a mountain. Farm fencing?
Oh, it's like putting fences around farms.
Okay, yes.
No, sword fighting. I taught archery.
Like jousting.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. No, we didn't build fences. We had swords. I don't know if I can.
How many
I got my
how
swords
many
on my
kids were on
wall
the
over
camp?
there. There you go. Oh, look at that. Physical evidence of potential truth to the situation.
How many kids did you get on the camp?
It was 30, about 30 per week. Between 30 and 40 each week. And then each week, some kids would come back because they wanted to do more than 1 week, or sometimes it's a bunch of different kids. But each week it varied depending on how many signed up. But it was about between 20 and 40, depending on how busy that week was.
Okay.
Joanne, do you have a question?
So was it difficult for you to persuade this person to give you the money, or did they just give it to you right away?
I was really surprised, actually. I said, look, here's what's going on. We got them playing the games. They're enjoying it. Can I get some money? And he said, how much you need? And I said, $350, enough to get some games. And he went, bring me the receipt.
Really?
And that was it.
Wow.
Just like that. Yep. He trusted in me. He was a great boss and trusted my judgment, and saw afterwards that when he came in and saw that the kids were playing games rather than watching the TV, he realized it was a good decision.
And Alex, I'm going to move it forwards, unless you can you actually remember this very quickly, Scott?
I can't, and I'm pretty sure that none of them did, because I told them I can hear a piece hit the floor from anywhere in the room, and I could. So if we're playing and we're doing stuff and I heard a piece hit the floor and I didn't see someone go to pick it up, I went, why has no one picked up that piece yet? And they'd say, what piece? I said, the one under your chair. And they'd go, oh yeah, there is a piece under my chair. And then they'd pick it up and put it away. So we were very diligent with our keeping track of the pieces, so that we didn't end up with those games like in those other camps where they're unplayable because half the pieces are missing. Like once in a while, we'd find a piece that was left out after, but we'd always put it back in.
Keys asks, was this person a priest who gave you the money?
Yeah, he was the boss of the fencing archery camp. He was just a great guy.
So, voting time. Everyone in chat, hopefully you've got enough information to vote. I honestly have no idea. Scott has me thoroughly bamboozled. I don't know how other people are feeling about this, but I honestly am totally on the fence. So,
That was a long setup, but good.
Yes.
The payoff was there. Oh, I thought that was a props. Sorry.
3, 2, 1. Everyone in chat put yeah, lie or truth. 3, 2, 1. Now we vote. Okay, so Joanne thinks it's a lie. Nicole and I think it's true. And everyone thinks it's a lie.
Oh.
Except for Alex. I mean, I've personally started off thinking it's a lie inspired by true, but what was it?
Totally true. The whole thing.
Yes.
Yep.
I was going to say maybe you got money, but it wasn't that much. Like maybe you got $20 or $100, but not
Scott.
350.
I think you are the only person in this game to actually get points by fooling other people. So congratulations. I just want to point that out. So
I did not fool Nicole.
yes, but you need to fool half the people.
Oh, well, half the people. Okay.
Did you not?
Oh, I was the only one who got exactly half with my cow story. Is what you're saying?
Like you need to fool half or more.
Oh, half or more.
Oh, you have to. I didn't know that you had to fool that many. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so finally, Joanne, to finish off the game, and this could be the difference between winning or coming second for Scott, Alex, and Live on Mountain. No one else is in the running, sorry. I've not done. But anyway, Joanne, hopefully you've had fun, but can you see us out with some sorts of true or false statements of your choice?
Yes, I can. I had to think a little bit because the people who are regulars on my stream are here. And I wanted to try to think of something that they actually wouldn't know if it was true or not. And they know a lot about me, so I have to think. So most people who know me know that I work as a volunteer at a therapy horse barn, and I work with donkeys and horses. But what some people don't know is that I took lessons there. And one of the things that I did while I was on one of the lessons was a trust exercise where I rode the horse with a blindfold. I was wearing the blindfold.
The horse.
I had to clarify.
So,
Right. I'm glad you did.
the statement is that you were being led by a horse whilst you were wearing a blindfold.
Yes, I was riding a horse while I was wearing a blindfold.
Okay,
Oh,
wow. That is
Right.
quite something.
Yeah. Questions?
I've done archery with my eyes closed. It's cool. Whatever.
Have you genuinely, Scott?
Hmm?
Have you genuinely, Scott?
Sorry, one more time.
Have you genuinely, Scott?
Oh, okay. I was so sorry. I wasn't sure if you said genuinely or generally because your funny accent and everything, which is charming. Actually, I'm just kidding. I do actually love hearing you talk. I have actually.
Okay. So, questions for Joanne. Were there any low-hanging trees around, Joanne?
No, there weren't. It was in an arena.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Live on a Mountain asks, was the horse blind?
No.
Keys also thinks that my accent is funny but charming, apparently. How did the horse know what its purpose was that day, Joanne?
They didn't know.
Keys asks, were there any fences?
No, there weren't.
Did you later find out the horse was your half brother?
No.
Had you ridden many horses? Oh, sorry, Bicol, you go first.
Oh, thanks. Was there anybody supervising you in case something went wrong?
Yes, there was.
Okay.
My question, had you done a lot of horse riding before?
Not a lot, but I had done some. It was after about a year of
And
taking
final
lessons.
question from Alex, did the horse used to have blonde hair?
No, it didn't.
Okay. What was the name of the horse?
The name of the horse was Zippy.
Okay. So we'll call that the end. And it's
With no
a
name.
horse with no name.
Did you ride it to the desert? She couldn't tell. She was blindfolded.
No, I didn't ride it in the desert. I told you it was an arena.
So that's a very good statement. I don't know whether this is true or not. So I could see it going away.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We are trying. Okay, because Runa's not had a question. Oh, okay, Joanne. Let's do these two questions, but then no more. So, firstly, what were you wearing? Asks Keymaker, if you feel that's appropriate to ask.
It's okay. I was wearing a pair of light tan riding pants and a dark brown riding shirt, short sleeve.
And how long ago was this?
It was about a year ago.
Okay.
Basically, maybe just before COVID started.
In chat, I hope you have an idea what to type. If not, just flip a coin. And get ready. 3, 2, 1. Press enter. And us on camera. 3, 2, 1. Vote. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, same. It's 50-50 pretty much. But
so we all think it's true, interestingly. Oh, Live on a Mountain would stake all the modding wagers on it. Not that mods make any wagers at all. Keys says true. Leafter says true. Alex says true. And Runa is the only one who doesn't believe it. So have you fooled us all, Joanne?
Yes, I have.
Oh, my
I totally believe that would be an exercise for getting used to.
I'm going to give you a link though, because I did ride a blind horse. Can I put this link in chat? Or here in the StreamYard chat.
You can put it in the private chats, and I'll link it everywhere.
This is the blind horse that I rode. It's not a video of me riding it, but it's a video of the horse. I did ride a blind horse, and this is who it was, and his name was Zip. But no, I did not ride any horse blindfolded when I was blindfolded. That it's completely false.
Wow. And so,
as a trust exercise to get used to the way the animal moves without having to be able to see yourself, I thought it was a totally reasonable, advanced technique for.
I thought that might be what you'd think.
That
was a great lie.
Thank you.
That was wow. Okay, so Alex, can you dish out some points to people, please? And Alex, so in first place, not in chat, but Scott over there in first place, with 7 points.
Wow.
In joint second place, Live on a Mountain and Alex. So if you can give 1,000 points to yourself, Alex, and Live on a Mountain, that would be great. And in next is Leafter with 5 points. And so if you could give Leafter is 500 points, Alex, please. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you very much to everyone. It has been super lovely. This honestly was super energizing. It was just wonderful. And so let me where's my yeah, that's it basically. And quickly, what are you up to after this stream? If you have anything to quickly say, Nicole? Any last words?
I'm gonna paint my nails and call my mom.
Cool. Scott?
Take my daughter to get vaccinated.
Oh, wow. Joanne? Anything you want to share?
I think I would like to rest for a little while. And
Well,
I'm not really sure what I want to do. I know that I probably need something to eat. I'm going to hang out with an emerald. I don't really know, but tomorrow I'll probably stream some music. I plan to stream music tomorrow.
so let's talk about streaming very, very quickly. Of course, if you want to check out my things, then that's the thing. I stream at 10 a.m. UK time every day. Tomorrow I'm with Tiz, and on Thursday I am meeting someone, Tanya Floker, for a lovely chat. And what time are you streaming tomorrow, Joanne?
9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I believe that winds up being 1 p.m. GMT.
And
So for you, I think, what does it wind up being? I think Liv would be able to tell you what time that is UK, but I think it's 2 p.m.
And thank you for being here, Alex. Thank you for your wonderful moderation. I hope you enjoy your apple strudel, Runa. Apple strudel. Sorry, I'm not speaking very well. And yeah, keeping the line going. And apparently it is 2 p.m. UK time, says
Okay.
Live on the Mountain. But I want to say yes, thank you everyone for playing. Thank you, Alex and Nicole and Scott and Joanne and Leifta and Keys, Live on the Mountain, and special shouts out Runa. Thank you, Runa. If you aren't already following Runa, I'll do a shout out. Runa Ellie Lu, who does crafting and makes lovely things, and definitely check out Runa. And for now, I am going to read the wonderful Loser peeps, who, well, it's just one person tonight, but yeah, do the whole copy paste the thing. That is the end. If no one else has anyone else have anything left to say? Nicole, Scott,
Thanks for having me on again.
Joanne?
I enjoyed it. I am amazed that I lied as well as I did. I'm usually a terrible liar.
Like, honestly, like, you can make money out of the skill.
Many people do.
That's such a terrible thing, but it's sadly true. Sadly true.
No, I'm usually a terrible liar. I'm amazed. Thank you. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot of funny puns as well, so yes.
Yeah.
Lots of love. And Runa says, yeah, is Runa... Yes, Runa, you are a VIP, so feel free to link your Instagram so people can check it out if they are not already following Runa. And so if you like colouring stuff in, then Runa's got a lovely page. Is this the one with the birds and the... Yeah. So check out Runa in all the places. And I will sing my song very slowly so that Runa has time to pop that into chat. My song, of course, being to say, bye, 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 bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. And bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks again, everyone.